Is he
Hand it up.
complying, Ms. Castillo?
He handed up. Yes, sir.
Mr. Hinojosa, do you solemnly swear that in this proceeding, the information and responses you submit will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. You may now put your hand down. Mr. Hinojosa, what is the charge, Patty?
Criminal trespass.
Criminal trespass.
Criminal trespass, private property.
All right. Mr. Hinojosa, you've been charged with the offense as stated. Before we proceed with this hearing, or before we go any further with the hearing, I have to discuss with you specific constitutional rights and protections. And then these will probably be repeated perhaps 2 or 3 times in writing during this process. Are you hearing what I'm saying to you?
Yes, sir.
The first right is the right to remain silent. That means that you cannot be compelled to make any kind of statement. You can't be required to answer questions. You can't be required to submit paperwork that has your signature, particularly if the papers admit or confess to wrongdoing. If you understand, you have the right to remain silent.
Yes, sir.
You have the right to a jury trial. That is a trial before 6 people that you and the state would have, you and your attorney and the state would have selected from a pool of randomly selected people that would come in and listen to the evidence in this case and decide whether you're guilty or not guilty. That's called a right to a jury trial. Do you understand you have that right?
Yes, sir.
If you were to go to trial, you would have the right to cross-examine or confront every witness who would testify. You would do that by asking questions, by cross-examining. The process would be, that's what's called confrontation of witnesses. Do you understand you have that right?
Yes, sir.
There's a right called the right of appeal. That is a right that you can exercise by yourself or your attorney by himself or the 2 of you together, demanding by following the right process, the right paperwork, and the right timeline, because there's time constraints. You could demand that a higher court review the official record in this process and the evidence and the results. Now, we have a lady named Kayleen Rivera. She is our official court reporter that's preparing the official court record on this matter. Now, that is basically the right of appeal. Understand you have that right.
Yes, sir.
Now, finally, both you and the state separately, each one has an individual right to demand that this matter be heard there in the open public courtroom. Because of the pandemic, the COVID pandemic, we're not doing these hearings in open public courtroom at this time. Now, as a result, what we're doing is doing this by video conference, which is being put on YouTube, and it can be seen or heard throughout the world. The thing is, though, that we can proceed now at this time, but only if you and the state both give up the right to have that public courtroom hearing and agree to the video conference. Do you understand you have that right?
Yes, sir.
All right. All these rights that I've just discussed with you, if you persist in a plea, as you are doing, you are giving up those rights. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Did anyone force you or intimidate you to do that, to give up any rights?
No, sir.
All right. Now we're going to show you some papers. All of the papers, with 1 or 2 exceptions, will have the information right here at the top. I call that identifying information on each of the papers. This one says cause number 657169, the state of Texas versus Andrew Michael Hinojosa in County Court of Law number 5, Bexar County, Texas. This particular document has now a title there. And all these titles are going to be in all capitals, bold print, dark print. It says state's consent to video conference. I mentioned a while ago that in order to proceed you and the state have to agree. In this case, this document says the state agrees, and it is signed by Ms. Caitlin Morgan that they're agreeing to the video conference. Did you see that?
Yes, sir.
Now, all the documents I'm showing you, did you review them with your attorney, Mr. Herbst?
Yes, sir.
Did you have any questions that have not been asked or answered?
No, sir.
All right. What you're being shown now is, again, identifying information. The title of the document is Discovery Acknowledgement. Just so you know, there's a law that's called Article 39.14 of the Code of Criminal Procedure. It's right there in front of you. That law is a law of the state of Texas that requires the prosecutors to share and provide to you access to all the documents, receipts, papers, videos, anything that's of importance or evidence in this particular case. They have to share it with you and provide it to you. This document is signed by your attorney and the prosecution attorney, the state's attorney, saying that, yes, that law has been obeyed. Do you see those two signatures there?
Yes, sir.
You understand what they're saying?
Yes.
All right. This next document, this is the one in writing where you're saying, yes, I'll agree to the video conference. Did you see and understand it?
Yes.
And you signed it?
Yes.
All righty. This one does not show that, but in case the original documents don't have your signature, I'll be requiring you to sign those in accordance with what you're telling me under oath. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
Now, this document, the title is Defendant's Waiver of Constitutional Rights in Court's Admonitions. It starts off with the identifying information. Then there's 3 declarations by you. Did you read and understand those declarations, including the one that says you understand you're charged with criminal trespass private property?
Yes, sir.
Also, there's one that says, in this cause, I, that's being you, hereby enter a plea of nolo contendere to that charge. Is that what you're doing? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now the rest of this document is divided into 15 separate parts or divisions. And each one is numbered accordingly. Number 1 there tells you what the punishment is for this offense. There's a check mark next to a declaration that says Class B, a fine from $0 to $2,000 and jail from 0 to 180 days. Are you aware that that's the punishment you can receive?
Yes, sir.
All right, number 2 is particularly important. I want you to read that to me. If there's a problem, tell me. Read it out loud.
Number 2, I understand I have the right to a jury trial, a right to cross-examination of witness, and a right to remain silent. I freely and voluntarily give up those rights.
Is that true?
Yes, sir.
You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, have you ever had any kind of mental health problems?
No, sir.
Have you ever been given or taken mental health medications?
No, sir.
All right. Number 4 talks about why you're pleading nolo contendere. Did you see and understand that?
Yes, sir.
Number 5 talks about the sex offender registration program. Have you ever participated in that?
No, sir.
Excuse me. Number 6 talks about the right to appeal again. And did you understand all of that? Number 8, by the way, where were you born?
In the U.S.?
All right, that makes you a U.S. citizen. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. All of these you reviewed with your attorney.
Yes, sir.
Did you have any questions of Mr. Herbst?
No, sir.
Do you have any questions now?
That because I had got charged with criminal trespassing and public intoxication. Is that the same with the public intoxication?
This does not have anything to do with public intoxication at this point.
Okay, yes, I understand this.
All right. And you did, let's see, these are signed by your attorney and Ms. Morgan. And I don't know if you've signed this yourself. Did you sign this?
Yes, I did sign it.
Judge, I think Linda has,
Say what, Patty?
I think Linda has the signed paperwork.
Very good.
She
All right.
she does, Your Honor.
I'll be signing those afterwards. All right, next document, Ms. Patricia. This one is my declaration or my certification to you. Identifying information like the others, then it says the title of the document, Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. There's a stack of vertical stack of little boxes. Next to each one, it says something or declares something with to do about the right of appeal. The fifth box says this, and this is me talking. This is a plea bargain case and the defendant has no right of appeal. Do you understand it?
Yes, sir.
All right. I will be signing that shortly. Ms. Morgan, what is going to be the outcome as far as the result of the plea? Is going to be deferred or straight probation or what?
Your Honor, it's going to be a JSAT.
JSAT? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Then the next document you'll be shown is the plea agreement. And there it is. This one says State of Texas versus Andrew Michael Hinojosa, case number 657169. It does not mention the court in this particular document. You'll notice that there are two check marks. The first one says that, again, that we are talking about, we've explained to you that you have the right to remain silent. Then there's a check mark that identifies you as a U.S. citizen. Now, the next section says defendant's acknowledgements. There's 5 little boxes, each with a check mark in there. Did you go through here and check mark those things with your attorney?
Yes, sir.
Talks about all these rights again. Again, a repetition, but it's very important. All right.
Yes, sir.
This section that we just passed up right there, there is one check mark at the last square on the right. Again, 2 vertical stacks of squares. This one says that you are charged with criminal trespass, private property. Then there's one that says, the next section says plea. Officially, Mr. Hinojosa, what is your plea to the charge?
No contest.
No contest plea is taken by this court as a guilty plea and is sufficient for me to convict you. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Any question?
No, sir.
All right. Then I honor the agreement that you have made with the state. Having heard your plea of no contest, I find you guilty, and you are sentenced to 7 days Bexar County Jail, 0 fine, 0 court costs. You are given credit for time served, time and credit to run concurrently. The court finds that you have satisfied this judgment, and therefore you owe nothing further to the state of Texas or to this court on this particular charge.
Your Honor,
Yes, ma'am.
you said 7 days. The system
I'm sorry.
here says 2.
That is correct. It is 2. I didn't read the last part there at the bottom little. Anyway, I correct that. You are sentenced to 2 days Bexar County Jail. A fine, 0 fine, 0 cost, credit for time served, time and money run concurrent. And once again, I repeat, you owe nothing further to the state of Texas or to this court on this particular charge. Questions, Mr. Hinojosa?
No, sir.
Questions, Mr. Herbst?
No, Your Honor.
Questions, Ms. Morgan?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
All right, this concludes.
Your Honor,
Ma'am?
I just wanted to let the court know that I noticed there's an L missing on Michael.
Somebody got the hell out of there, huh?
That was
All right.
my fault. Sorry, Your Honor.
Uh-huh. Okay. Then we'll make that correction on that document. So if there's nothing further, then this concludes this particular proceeding. Mr. Herbst, thank you for your help. Mr. Hinojosa, stay out of